It's like just people walking on the set of a movie. Here we are. And now we're rolling.
It's more like a reality show.
Yeah, that's a better comparison. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year. When do we cut off the Happy New Year's? What is the etiquette for the Happy New Year, by the way?
I'm good for Happy New Year's right through to February.
Wow, you're a long-term Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, generally, it's hard to catch up with everybody, you know?
Yeah. Don't say it to people you've already said it to through February 1st. But if you haven't seen them or talked to them, say it. Sure. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. What's that effect?
Big fan of opening emails with that rather than the mundane hope all is well.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, constantly sending out a lot of hope all the time. And we would much prefer just a little HNY. It'll work. LA's been absolutely pummeled, have to say. I happened to be automatically evacuated because I was already in Australia for a month when this whole thing happened. So I've been learning about it in the same way as you guys have been learning about it. And then I've got back and, there's like a general mood of everybody being very, very together and trying to help each other out and donating like crazy, probably helping each other more than government seem to be helping it for all accounts.
Yeah, we've spoken to a couple of companies and also just people that we know who are just really going at it as far as, you know, people who like work with Coke or Pepsi or just like bringing pallets of stuff over to everyone who's been helping out. Talked to a couple other companies yesterday, just trying to get them, you know, it's an energy drink called Kinetic. They're sending stuff over and it's just like, it's unbelievable. Yeah. You know, Nadia Ali is still in Egypt. She was supposed to come home on the 12th, but the fire was edging towards Brentwood, and nothing happened, fortunately for her. But like, she couldn't go home, so she's like, I'm just going to stay here with my family until I can actually go home. So I think it's this weekend. Maybe she's going to make it, but
yeah, right.
A lot of stuff happening there.
A lot of stuff happening. Didn't Mac just announced maybe 20 minutes ago an event that we're running on Tuesday next week with Space Yacht at Sound nightclub in Hollywood as a fundraiser.
Oh, it's amazing.
Laidback Luke is playing a show for Insomniac at Avalon on 25th in LA.
Dude, that's amazing.
Also
awesome.
Fundraiser proceeds were going to wildfire charities. So yeah, I think everybody's doing it. Like this weekend, Insomniac, every single one of their shows across all of their clubs in LA are all 100% net profits to charity. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of no problem. Yep, yes, I'll play. I don't care when I'll play. Just tell me, I'll do it. It's like the opposite of the normal conversations that you have about billing or anything like that. It's just the answer is just yes across the board. Same thing happened when we did Make It Rain in 2020 for the Australian brushfires, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I love it when communities come together like this.
Me too.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It's always a bummer that it takes these things for people to kind of circle around each other like this and unite. Sure. But it is like gives me hope for the future when it does happen.
Yeah,
100%. And I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm thinking, wow, that they can all come together this quickly and make things move. You know, there's so much involved in just like, putting a show on, you know, and you're like, just putting it together on a normal day, let alone, you know, when things are like batshit crazy. So I think, you know, hats off to the teams of people that are really making it happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you too, Lauren. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
I'm just saying yes to everyone else. It's a good idea. Trust me. And here we are. I've got another good idea. Let's listen to some music.
Good idea that lasts
maybe we can help in some way with people's aspirations of becoming bigger and better producers and artists and vocalists and everything. So that's why we've been doing the show as well as like a as a give back to the community for all these years that we've been doing it. So happy to continue for sure.
100%. 100%.
Well, speaking of all these years, we have a friendly face here, Radio Dave, who has been showing up for all these years with a new record. All right, let's see what we got here.
Radio Dave.
Yeah, let's go.
Radio Dave, we need another parody video this year at some point. No particular hurry, but the parody video you did was absolutely outrageous. So we need another one sometime.
Well, nothing like kicking off the new year with Radio Dave and a record called Failure, but it can only go up from here. Here we go.
I saw the title.
Let's get this moving.
Congratulations. You achieved failure. Failure has been achieved. Thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. You know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. The only place to go is to win. The only place to go is to win.
Sorry, I gotta let it play. You gotta hear it.
The only place to go is to win.
Nice. What a way to start the new year, Radio Dave. Failure right here on Dope or Nope.
I like that a lot. What do you guys think?
I really liked it. I'm going to give it a half bell.
Nice.
Pray
I'll
tell
take a
why
half bell.
not the other half.
Half bell from Lorne.
Why not the other half?
Well, I hear a couple
more half from Hess.
One more half from Hess.
Yep.
All right, JB.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take the other half too. So 2 bells total. Strangely, that song was inspirational. Usually a song called Failure isn't that inspirational, but really good. I mean, nice production, great sounds. Definitely a mix show / club record. Nice work. I mean, Radio Dave knows what he's doing at this point. So, Lauren,
I feel like the lyrics often let down some of these records, but not the production. Production in this felt like really strong electro. So I really liked that part of it. I think that the lyrics or the delivery of it sort of made it feel slightly too cheesy or commercial. But the way to make it believable is to make it feel more hype. So I think that the vocalist could be sort of like really pushing into it more, instead of it being delivered more matter-of-factly as it is now. It could be delivered with more kind of like a coach. And if a coach was sort of talking to a group of people that have to have more volume and then have to have more ferocity and tenacity about how they're presenting. That would be my only real advice. The breakdown in the middle felt like it dragged a lot because there was nothing really in there which held your attention. So maybe that could be a whole new verse where the coach is saying whatever he's saying that justifies the punchline about the failure and winning. So that sort of felt like something that you could either shorten or elaborate on. But yeah, I mean, the drop is classic Radio Dave, really strong electro. So yeah, that's why I gave it a half bell. I think it's really good. Nick,
I'd agree with those thoughts. I love you've dialed in your main bass synth, so it's not quite as harsh. It's almost like a little more rubbery, like it's got a little more movement. I might have mentioned this before that
rubbery is
it's a good word. It kind of
totally
works.
Got that, but it totally works here.
Your sound is becoming a little more dialed and simplified, which is great. I think it's easier to handle what's going on in a good way. It's just more focused. This middle bit, it goes a little out of pocket for a little while. We could talk offline about some specifics that you can do in there with the chord changes. But I like that it switches and then you bring it right back with just a hair more energy. It's not your typical total switch where you don't know what's coming entirely. Like you kept it dialed in just enough. Reminds me of classic Botneck in a way, which is super cool, up my alley. So nice work, man. That's why you got the half bell from me.
All right. Super cool.
Congo Rock. That was the other one. Lauren knows Congo Rock.
Congo Rock.
There's some old that. Congo Rock that is in this lane.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. Dave. It's so weird. I was listening to a podcast from a guy named Ed Milet, who I listen to pretty regularly. He's like an inspirational speaker. And man, if he didn't he was in the same path of what you're talking about in this song. Like, you have to fail. You have to, people, quit before the miracle happens because it's hard. It's too hard. It's too hard. I'm not, I'll stick it out for a long time, but I'm not really. So it was this exact thing I was just listening to when I was out. It's snowing like mad here, so I went out for a walk. And I was listening to the exact same thing. So that's my half a bell is really for the lyric. I don't know how to glue that into the track though. That's the part I'm still struggling with. The track's banging, the idea is great. I love the thought pattern of those words, but I'm not sure it totally gets together in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only rub. But other than that, I got a half a bell for the music and the I guess I'll call it a lyric, but the speech, but just not where they meet is the other half of the bell.
Got it.
Agreed. JB.
I started this whole thing, and so we're ready for the next one.
All right, let's full circle. Let's roll right into it. Another show regular, Max Evans, would take you the Dope or Nope edit. jump ahead here. All right, Max Evans with Take You. Right here on Dope or Nope. Hess.
I think I'll give that a half a bell.
All right.
It's hard, like listening now. Usually I hear things like not through the show itself. So I'm listening, locally, and it's much more, it's louder, first of all, but I know you said that was maxed out. You had it turned up all the way, right?
Yeah.
I like it. It's a little redundant, and I think like it could have been a little bit more dynamic, and for that's the other half of the bell. But yeah, I don't. As a track, it does what it probably says on the carton, and that's that. But could it be like a banger? I think there's some things that probably Nick and Lauren can talk about here where it's like take it to the next level. It is a little redundant, and I could see some like probably if you're going to stay with that same sample and do it over and over again, there's probably some track changes you want to make to break that up a little bit. But there you go.
Yeah, I'll take a half bell. Obviously, it should, when you're submitting something like this, you should just have a simple compressor like an L2, L3 ultra maximizer or something relatively simple just to punch it up so it's ready to play out that night kind of concept, as opposed to spending heaps of time on EQing and what have you. I really enjoyed the vibe of it. It felt really good. I agree with you, Hess, that it felt like it was a little bit monotonous, perhaps, is what I was feeling, and perhaps we're similar on that. I tend to think that that's a relatively easy fix. When you've got the session up, you could probably just maybe halve some bits, or alternatively put some extra little melodic parts in the second half of the same long section. So it might be like an additional ARP or some hats or some wind noise or some sidechain thing or some extra element for the second half that gives you permission to play the remaining 4 bars of an 8 or 8 bars of a 16. But I think that Take You On a Ride looped vocal through the telephone EQ feels really good, actually. So yeah, I could imagine this to be like a nice lounge house record or a record early in the night that would hold. It feels like a pressure song that we've discussed before. The idea of not releasing, just like holding kind of like a pressure as like the support DJ to whoever everyone's there to see. Really good. I really liked it. I really liked it. I think it's got a lot of potential. I hear more potential in this than I've heard in a lot of songs on Dope or Nope before.
All right, I'll jump in. So Max, I like the idea. It did feel the same kind of feedback here. It felt a little like an 8 or 16 bar idea that wasn't fully thought through quite yet. Part of that just had to do with the redundancy of the vocal. Lauren already touched on all that stuff. From a mix perspective, though, the bass line kind of eats the song. So you have the vocal and the bass line, and those are like the stars of the show. But I think because it is so simple, there's a lot of opportunity for some really cool percussion to shine through on this. And you should think about dialing your kick in with your bass a bit more, because I want to feel the 4 on the floor, but right now it's kind of being eaten by the bass. So I'd have a look at that first and foremost when you jump into the mix down. But I would focus on the arrangement first. Overall, though, I think the idea is super dope, and there's definitely something here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I think I can just echo kind of what people were saying, and that it needs either more lyrics or more something to keep it, a little bit more interesting. That said, I would go on that ride, and I would give it a half a bell for its potential, because I think it's a pretty fun groove.
Nice segue.
Thank you.
Well done. Love it. Yo, I'm eating these raspberries because I never get raspberries, but this container was like $8 and I couldn't resist. Totally overpriced. and like 7 of the raspberries are no good.
Boo.
And say there's 40 in a package. I feel like I need a quarter of my money back on this thing.
No, man, you're paying for fruit that's out of season in New Jersey.
Well, yes. That too. That too.
Yep.
I dig the fruit thing, but like, if it's not in season,
what am I supposed to do?
And
everything's out of season right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Except there's some winter lettuce that I could eat, I guess.
From fruit. Yeah.
There you go.
But,
all right, moving right along.
Keep it going.
Just Jack, he sent 2 tracks, so I'm going to pick one of these. Obviously, a friend of the show. Just Jack, Set Me Free. Let's do it. Right here on Dope.
I haven't heard anything from him in a while.
It's been a minute.
Only you can take me higher. Only you can make me free. Only you can start the fire. Only you kiss me free. Only you can set me free. Free. Only you can set me free. Free. Rise up against the fear. Rise up and be free. Only you can start the fire. Only you can set me free. Only you can set me free. Only you can set me free.
Nice one. Just Jack, Set Me Free. I love this.
Yeah. You want to go first?
I'm going to give this a full bell. There are a couple notes, but I really like the vibe. I think it's awesome. Production's really great. Super unique. And I like Jack a lot. It keeps going. There's another section and then the last drop, so it's in total 412. Part of my note was like we didn't even get to all that, but it could be tightened.
Needs to be tightened up.
Yeah, for sure. So my only 2 major notes are the whole thing is pretty sizzly and it could be a lot more rounded and warmer from a mix perspective. That's easy, like taming some of the hi-hats and shakers and stuff and just warming the whole mix up a bit. And it might even be something on his master chain that's like pushing all that stuff up. But the other major thing is when the drop hit, I was like, oh, the sound set is awesome. The guitar and the chords and all that stuff. But it changed chords right away and really quick. So it's somewhat jarring as you're trying to wrap your head around these new sounds and the idea of what this new drop will be. You're already changing chords on the listener. So it's hard to keep up with everything going on. There's just a lot happening at once. So if there's a way to tame that down, that first chord that hits can be held longer, a few more beats before you change chords for the first time. That in itself would help simplify the drop a little bit. But the sounds he used, I think, were great, and overall, I love the production on it. So he gets the full bell.
Nice.
With the little asterisks of those
asterisks,
notes.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking when he went into the drop, and it was like this vocal combination that reminded me of like Crosby, Stills, and Nash for some reason. It was very like almost like because they had this very specific way to do harmonies, and it always was just like, holy Jesus. But I think maybe what you're talking about where the chord change and that where that happened, because I loved it, but it didn't feel like it sat in correctly when it hit. I was like, oh, this is great. Wow, why does it sound a little, maybe that's what you were talking. I can't, verbalize something I don't have in my brain about the chord change and the sounds, but it felt a little off, but also awesome. I want to go with the full bell, and I'm going to throw a cow in there too, because he's going to go back and fix the things he just told him about.
You get the audience, because I don't know where the cow is today. There's the cow.
There we go. Oh, yes.
A cow in the crowd.
Thank you. And I know, I just really enjoyed that, and I also feel like that's what you just explained was like, oh, that makes sense, and that can be fixed. And I'm sure Lauren has 2 or 3 more points about the same thing, but overall, I really dig it. Good to hear Jack back and making tunes too.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've heard anything.
Seriously, a long time.
I'll take a full bell. I love this record. The top line felt super nice. I agree with all of the notes that you said, Nick, and I some of them I hadn't even thought of. And when you were saying, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why you're really good at this. So yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. All your advice is perfect. I'll just be wasting more time reiterating all those notes. The only thing that I would add is it felt very washy in the drop, like very high end shakery. And you guys know I love a shaker, but there was kind of like that. It just sort of felt like a little bit white noisy. So just something to check in the EQ of it, so that it sort of feels a bit more point sourced and not washed out. That was all. But very, very good.
Right.
Well, let's go ahead and make this our first 4-bell song of the year.
There you go.
Give it a full bell.
Nice.
I really liked the vocals and even the lyrics. That isn't always the case when it comes to songs like this. I really think I could hear this on dance radio. Once it's fine tuned by kind of the suggestions that were given earlier. So it has a really approachable drop and really nice groove and nice work, Just Jack.
Yeah,
nice one.
We did it. All right. Who do we got next? Oh, I know these guys.
You know everyone.
We all know these guys. Mason Boss. And it, of course, no intro on the record, so I can't even talk over the intro. Nice guys. That's your first critique. This is called Just a Taste from Mesa and Boss. Here we go.
When all of our demons come alive and talking memories are out of sight, when we feel like time's not on our side, the weight of the world is on our mind. When all of our demons come alive and talking memories are left to die, we run out of time.
That's all they're giving us. That's all we've got.
Wow, stingy.
Yeah, 49-second clip.
So stingy. What happened there?
Yeah, I'm slightly offended about less than 1 minute.
Do we have a
And no intro.
49-second style bell? Because that's what I want to do there.
Yeah, I think I'll take a cow.
Just the cow?
And it's up to them to interpret what that means. Production quality felt very professional. It sounded very finished and polished. Vocal felt well mixed. Bass line and kick sounded really good. And that's all I can give you with 49 seconds.
Right. Really? Who did the vocal, guys? That was good.
JB, what do you think?
I want to hear more.
Right.
That was not enough. It's called Just a Taste. I mean, that's all they gave us. And I guess the first one's free. And so we have to pay them for the rest of the track.
They're gating it.
Right.
Wow.
So nice work. I mean, I'll take a cow as well. Why not? Let's go barnyard with it.
Big shout out to Bobby Shaw, who has joined the chat, and Jay
What's up,
Dobby.
Bobby?
Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with everybody's thoughts here. I mean, not enough to warrant a bell because you're not giving us enough here to chew on a full song, but I love the ideas. I love the way the mix sits. It's super punchy, great balance, and I like this direction for you. It's almost like a tamer version of some of the big room stuff you've been doing, but it still hits. It's nice.
Doesn't it remind you of, I mean, I don't know if everyone's going to get this reference, but I hear like a little Noel. I hear a little like, it sounds a little freestyle to me, to be honest. That vocal for sure.
Wow.
Wow, this guy with these deep cut references today. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Noel.
Noel.
Noel, or like, not Coro so much because he had a higher register, but like, or Information Society. That's what I hear.
I could see this on the acapella. This is like late night KTU called and they want their records back.
I mean, for real. Lauren's like, what the fuck are these guys talking?
Yeah, it's a US reference. It's fine. No offense taken. Go ahead.
No, not just the US. I will tell you specifically Northeast Corridor. That's it.
Got it. Okay, great. Well,
Northeast Corridor and San Jose. That's it. That's all she wrote for that stuff.
I didn't realize that was San Jose too.
Yeah, really big there. Filipinos dig that.
Got it.
I think because Stevie B's from that area, so you know.
The more you know. All right. Well, nice job, guys. We'll jump right into coffee and candy with Catch Me, Hold Me. Catch Me, Hold Me, the 128 BPM 011325 mix.
Turn it up.
Candy, Catch Me, Hold Me. Just for the record, it does say 11,325 mix. Is that how many bounces that you guys have done so far to get to this point?
Dude, I don't think I've
usually
files on my computer. What are you talking about?
Usually the number before mix is how many bounces you've done.
Right. Fortunately,
I'm sure it's like the street number or something. Anyway, this record can have a bell from me. I really like it. The vocal's really good. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the era of Set You Free, kind of 90s-ish feeling with maybe the chops, the gates instead of the sidechain. And the synths were really, really nice. I like the beats. as well. I really like this record. It's there's a lot going on. Why it's good. It's definitely kind of doing what it says on the tin, though. It's very commercial dance. You could probably make it slightly cooler if you wanted to by layering something else on the synth, so it doesn't feel so one plug-in or ringing. You could add something else to make it feel a little bit more multi-dimensional in that synth melody. Maybe even a little bit of delay or decay on it, so it doesn't sort of feel so staccated. That's about all I've got for it. Really good record. I like it. JB, would you think differently?
No, usually you're kind of right on the money. So I didn't get a chance to take any notes on this song because I was too busy enjoying it. So I also would give it a bell.
Wow.
And I'd like to hear more.
That's the note, dude. That is the note right there.
The note is there are no notes. And who was the vocalist? Was that a Splice vocal or somebody real?
Somebody real.
It's AI.
AI? Really?
Well, they trained it on Lil Susie or something, or Lizette Melendez.
Yeah.
I'm going back,
All right.
George.
No, you just.
All right. What do you say?
I'd also like a bell. I dig it. Yeah, I think the track. Again, I'm still getting used to like what it sounds like to hear things through StreamYard, but because usually I hear the actual, the actual sound. So, but yeah, really good. I like it. It's fun. It's not, it's all the things you're like, this is great. Would I remember it in a year from now? Probably not. But I would enjoy it until it wasn't being played anymore. You know what I mean? Like if it came on, I'd be like, oh yeah, I like this. So
that's great feedback.
To me, that's, yeah. So those are always the three things for me. Like, do I want to hear that again? Or what I just said about this song. And then the last one where it's like, I'm not a lyric guy most of the times until I've heard it, 100 times. But sometimes you hear something once, you're like, oh my God, it just sticks. What is that? Let's bottle that and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot to add to what everybody said. The vocal wasn't my thing. It was a little freestyle, yeah, I'll say that. I think Jay Dobby was on point saying something came up in that vocal for him that made it sound a little off. It wasn't quite in the pocket for me. I'd agree with Lauren. Do something to make that synth just a hair cooler. It's got the pattern and kind of the chord structure to lean into like the ravey thing, like a rave stab that has the same balance. So you might want to think about that for this. But yeah, I think it's a cool dance club record. Keep sending records over here, please.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to move right along. Who do we have here? Stan. DJ Say. All right. Have we had anything from DJ Say on Dope or Nope before?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Well, there's a 20-second SoundCloud ad that just decided to run out of nowhere, so we'll mute that for the moment.
Better help.
Thanks so much, SoundCloud.
I thought
Really
it was always
appreciate
me with that thing.
No, I'm not logged in. I just realized.
Mm-hmm.
Amateur hour. Lauren, you said you were in Italy. How was it?
Outstanding. Italy's incredible. I mean, Rome feels like it's the birthplace of civilization. I just love it. So great.
Did you do your normal biking?
Yeah. I got on a Lime scooter and just zipped around. I was like, oh yeah, look at that. That's a brand new, incredible, phenomenal building. And then that's a 2,000-year-old ancient ruin. Crazy.
Right. It is wild.
Yeah, big fan.
All right, let's get into it. DJ Say with Tamami, and the record is called Aishi. And that's the exact drums I wanted to hear right now.
Yeah. Bell.
Oh yeah.
In the interest of time, because I know we're a little tight right now. That's DJ Say with Tamami Aishi. How do we feel about this one? I love it.
Bell. Cow.
2. Cow.
JB.
I'll take a half a bell.
Half a bell. I'll take a full bell. All right.
JB. Justify yourself.
To me, when I was hearing it, it sounded like the tempo kept speeding up right in a certain part. So that could have just been, StreamYard or whatever, but
the internet.
Or just the internet. So anyway, I don't know. Could be talking to a cow, but so that's why.
Magic beans and cows, I got you covered.
Right, exactly.
What a great record.
I think, who the Spawn was like boat riding Ibiza. Yeah, I'm sitting at, whatever day bar, enjoying a cup of coffee, watching the water roll up into the rocks. I'm all over that.
Yeah,
amazing.
Paint the picture.
Sounded great. It's a tiny. I'd love it to fit more, because then what do you do with this, right? Like from my perspective, like where do I even go with this other than streaming, right? It's a little too fast and too excitable to get to like, chill, serious. But I mean, is this like, if you did some like Latin promotion and worked through Brazil and worked through, got one of the DJs in when Ibiza, it's a little early, but like think about if one guy kicked that off, what that could start over there on the island. And in the meantime, work the other territories. Like this to me is like 100% streaming and marketing approach. But Diplo plays some interesting things lately. You never know. But
it's true.
This is fun, really fun.
Well, speaking of radio, I would love to hear the radio edit on this because the full mix is 638.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, I think that there's a place for them. But it would be nice to hear the 230 to 315 mix.
245, 230, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice one. All right, we're going to keep it moving. Rimnez, Say Goodbye, right here on Dope or Nope.
I don't have to hear you love me. To hear you love me. I don't have to hear you love me. I don't need to wonder why. I don't need to know you trust me. I'm just gonna say goodbye.
That is Rimnez with Say Goodbye. I'm going to hit that with a half bell.
Nice.
Really cool.
Nice. Why? Why are you giving it a half bell? Tell.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
I love Rimnez's stuff. I love the energy it has. I think he has a really good sensibility around arrangements that'll work well in a club. What didn't do it for me, well, two things that jumped out to me. It's not that they didn't do it for me. The vocal, I feel like I got a little bit too much vocal where I got tired of it, especially by the second build. I wanted it to go away, and it never went away. I never missed it. Also, the texture of it never changed. You could consider like a vocoder layer or just changing the formant or just doing something to make it different in the second half of the record a bit. So when it comes back and it is just a straight ahead vocal, you want that again. Right now, it's just a hair too much. The drop is great. I love the drop idea. Just a bit too blown out. Part of that I know is SoundCloud kind of compressing the file, but even looking at your waveform, you can tame down how hard you're going into your mastering chain on this a little bit, and it'll give it a little bit more room to breathe. I think that drop, the sounds are already huge. The kick is massive. The bass is massive. You'll be just fine if you bring it down maybe 2 dB or so as far as how hard you're pushing into that limiter. But otherwise, really cool. I would say keep dialing this in. Add maybe a little bit more ear candy. Hit those notes, and this one's dope.
Yeah. Half a bell, and I don't have a single thing to add to that. It was just like full on, the vocal was just on 100 the whole time. And we talk about this all the time, like, hey, like, give it some space, give it some room to breathe a little bit, because it's a pretty big vocal, and when you have something that big, you gotta tame it a little bit once in a while. John?
He mentioned in the chat that he is always trying something new, and I think this is has a lot of potential. So keep on trying, new things, and I think it's definitely worth a half a bell just for the potential that this sound of this has.
Yeah,
Lauren?
Yeah, I really like it. Half a bell for me. All the same notes that you had there, Nick. Vocal felt sort of like incessant. But yeah, I like the beats. I like the clarity of them, and the bass line was quite nice for me. I didn't really have any sort of negative feeling towards it. Honestly, it didn't sort of feel cheap or nasty. It felt kind of clean and professional, and it felt like you could play it out and it would work. I don't know whether it was particularly compelling, and I don't know if it's in vocal, whether it needs an extra lead melody or something like that. Like start thinking about other frequency ranges that haven't been used. So there was room in there for horns. There's room in there for strings, guitars. So just sort of think about whether you'd like to add one more layer of a lead melody using something like that, perhaps. That could potentially work, I'd say. But yeah, I really like it. Good record.
Good. Yeah. Hey, just real quick, shout out on Instagram, Georgie Porgy over there, Skydisc.
Hey.
Neotech. Who else is out here that I know? A couple other people. Spawn, you're in a lot of places. And Just Good too. Thanks for dropping by on Instagram.
All right. We're going to do one more. So anybody who has not had their opportunity yet, I apologize, but we are back next week. Let's go to Alex Robson. Drop this in.
Alex Robson.
Damn,
she's awesome. I know her. She's a great vocalist and writer.
She is, and she happened to work with some guys named the Disco Fries recently on a record.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Awesome.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well done. Well done.
Where's the drums?
All right, hit it. I'm excited to hear this one now.
Alex Robson, Alex Kirsch with How Will I Know How to Let You Go, right here on Dope or Nope.
Give me a bell.
Good till I thought about you, feeling good, so good till I thought about you, Now you're going round my head. Don't know what to do. What to do? Yeah, I try to get your name off of my mind. Don't feel how I did when you were mine. I think about the way I'm losing time. Needed to know how to let you go. Now I try to get your name off of my mind. Don't feel how I did when you were mine. I think about the way I'm losing time. How will I know how to let you go? How will I know if I'm moving on? Try to forget, but these feelings are too strong. I close my eyes, you're all that I see. How will I know? How will I know? How will I know? How will I know? I close my eyes, you're all that I see. How will I know? How will I know? I was doing fine, just fine. Now I'm aching for you, for you. It's like it's breaking everything inside. Don't know what I'm to do. Now I try to get your name off of my mind. Don't feel how I did when you were mine. I think about the way I'm losing time. How will I know how to let you go? How will I know if I'm moving on? Try to forget, but these feelings are too strong. I close my eyes, you're all that I see. How will I know? How will I know?
Nice. How will I know? Alex Robson, Alex Kirsch. She had texted me about this. She said, it's scary stuff because it's definitely a work in progress. That's the best records to bring on this show.
Yeah, I disagree. That didn't feel like a work in progress. It felt great. I like it. I'll take a bell. It's probably my understanding from my UK friends. I think this is kind of exactly what's happening in Europe and UK. Commercial clubs, music is certainly speeding up. The bass on the off gives it that Melbourne bounce feeling. I think the vocal is a very, very slight and incredible interpolation of How Will I Know If He Really Loves Me. I think it's Whitney Houston record, right?
Sure is.
It has that feeling to it without it necessarily encroaching, which I quite like. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's got a little bit of familiarity and it feels really good to me. So you're definitely on the right path.
I'm also going to give it a bell. Great job on this. I'm pretty sure it's a interpolation using that at least that main melody, but I think it's a really slick way to do it. I think this, when an artist doesn't just straight cover and they do it this way, I love it. I love that organ bass. I wanted to almost hear more of that as a drop, and you could do that for a club edit. Just go to that straight organ bass with some top percussion in the drop, and I think that would be great. Overall, I think it's awesome. You were asking me, I think you mentioned something in text maybe about you still need to get it mixed and mastered and mess with that stuff. One thing that popped out in the mix was that the bass was pretty wide, including like a lot of the low frequencies. So if you're going to do a wide bass, just in general, keep it the top frequencies of the bass. That could be wide, but you'll probably want to center any sub frequencies, or the mix is gonna fall apart a little bit. That was the one thing that jumped out, but I really loved it. Nice work.
Mm-hmm.
John, what do you think?
I think it deserves a bell. I want to hear this a couple of more times. So hopefully this one comes out. Great energy. Love the tempo. And the vocal was spot on. So what a great way to end the show.
Yeah, is that in the hook? Is that enough to get in trouble with? Is what I want to ask, because
I was wondering that too.
Close.
I think it would be.
It
says. Oh wait. In the description, it says interpolation of Whitney Houston, so they recognize what they're doing.
Right. Yeah,
it's really good. Wow.
But only if that. It's like so close. Like, I mean, I don't know how far they would get away with that before they got a knock on the door, But I mean, I give it a bell.
That's our job here.
Right. You know, I guess the bigger it got, the more it got noticed, the less likely they'll get away with that.
Correct.
But well done. You know, you're right. Interpolations covers are like, they can be great when you like really twist it, you know, like you really make it your own. But this is a really neat way to like just grab the piece that because you did it in such a way where like it was that same piece of the melody, so you're finishing that in your head, but it's a right turn, so it doesn't actually happen.
Yeah.
But from a legal, which is fun, that's the fun part. But from a legal standpoint, that could be a little more treacherous. But yeah, really, really nice. Full bell. Let's throw a cow in there too. Do we have any chickens?
No chickens. That's a good one. I gotta get some chickens up in here.
New for 2025 chickens.
Lauren's like, I'm. This is my last show.
Yeah, this guy only wants kangaroos. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's not really a noise that they make. So.
Can you give us an example? Can we have an example of what the noise?
I don't believe that kangaroos really make any noise. Honestly, they don't. They don't have a.
They don't really.
Call. They don't have a call. I saw some kangaroos 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago in Perth. Like heaps of them, and fighting too.
Those big muscular ones.
Well, no, they're not all muscular ones. Just I think they were kind of like joeys, just almost like play fighting. But that was super fun. But yeah, they don't really make a lot of sound for the most part. Here they are. Yeah, here you go. I don't know if this is going to work very well, but let's see. That's them sort of like just beating up on each other. And then eventually they sort of stand up and start kicking and shit. But they don't really make a lot of noise, these guys.
Oh,
just,
right hook.
Yeah. They don't really make a lot of noise. Yeah, there you go. That's where it gets on.
Right.
So,
they're going
welcome
in.
To National Geographic demo drop.
Can you imagine fighting like that and not making any noise?
Yeah.
So weird.
There's no fight. There's no noises. I mean, there might just be like, it's kind of like the noise that you hear from a squirrel, maybe. You know, just small little noises. Nothing too sensational.
Fantastic.
Right.
Oh,
So, yeah.
while we're doing the phone screen share, I'm just gonna do this quickly. Just got this text. If my phone works, just got this text. I don't know. So this guy looks familiar. I don't know if you know that guy. Does everybody know that guy? No.
Does it look like
this facility doesn't look familiar?
Oh, that's the Sirius XM, no? In Miami?
No. Might be. I don't know. It's Armin. Anyway, Armin kicking off his show with Mason, Boss, Vorwerk, and Haleen reach you on Liftoff, which was really nice of him to do today.
Whoa.
Hey.
That's pretty awesome. We'll take that.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah.
That's wicked. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to those
That
guys.
means it'll also go on the show. You know, when he puts the show up tomorrow or tonight.
Yes.
Well done.
For some reason, my camera got very red. The heat turned up when Armin popped on screen, I guess. You know?
He has that effect.
Weird.
So, guys, this is a great first show back. It's good to be back and have you guys on it. Thank you, everyone who's in the audience from all over. Bobby Shaw, thanks for coming by. I haven't seen you in a long time. Spawn, Smith and Soren. Everybody, thank you so much. Glad you're safe. Hope you are all safe, any of you in the Los Angeles area. You guys ready to do it again? Are you guys down for next week, 3 p.m. EST?
Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah, we'll have fun. I'm going to be in Arizona.
Oh.
Next year.
I was just going to say, if you want to share clips of the show, feel free to do that. We encourage it. Just make sure and tag us so that we can repost those and sort of spread what you're laying down and, promote the show. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Guys, don't
Thank you.
forget to hug someone you love. It's never too late to tell them how you feel, especially these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moving into 25. Nick, are we rating or are we just going to
No, we're just going out cold. We came in cold. We go out cold.
I love it.
No extra effects today.
That's it. Guys, thanks for watching.
Have a great weekend.
Woo!